Good evening, my dear students. In the name of Allah, we'll start our lesson today. Hope you are doing great. On Microsoft team, hope that all of you are with us. If you need anything, you can just contact me immediately, okay? Okay, so last time we talked about page 71. We talked about text 1, 2, 3, and today, inshallah, we'll continue the rest of the texts. Okay, text number 4. I will read it to you. Just please follow with me on page 71. I think that a lot of you will like it because it talks about computer games, but you will be surprised by the end of it. Anyways, follow with me, please. Some people are calling the computer game World of Warcraft the world's deadliest game after a Swedish teenager nearly died after apparently playing for 24 hours without a break. So you have to take a break whenever you play computer games. You should take breaks. Okay, doctor said that the 15-year-old boy had suffered convulsions and blacked out as a result of sleep deprivation, lack of food, and trying to concentrate for too long. The phenomenon of game addiction is associated particularly with MMORPGs, massively, which means massively multiplayer online role-playing games. World of Warcraft is one of the most popular examples of this type of game, with more than 11 million people worldwide playing it. Psychiatrists only partly understand how the addiction to games affects people. The Swedish teenager's father is trying to draw attention to the risks of the game in case the same thing happens to others. So I think that it's clear here that it talks about the problem of game addiction, and here they name a specific game which is World of Warcraft. I don't know if you play it or not. Anyways, you know that we have the word deadliest, which is a superlative from death. Then we have the word convulsions. He had suffered convulsions, deprivation, sleep deprivation. He didn't sleep for a long of time. We have the phrasal verb blacked out, which means he faint. Lack of food. We will talk about them in the coming on vocabulary worksheet, inshallah, because we'll talk about the word lack, leak, and lake. Okay, so the core idea of this paragraph, it talks about addiction for computer games. Okay, now text 5. So follow with me, please. Unless you choose your breakfast carefully, you'll probably find that you have consumed half your recommended daily intake of salt before the day has really begun. Most organizations recommend consuming no more than 6 grams of salt a day. If you have a full English breakfast, sausages, bacon, fried egg, toast with butter, you will pass the 6-gram limit immediately. But even a big bowl of breakfast cereal can be much worse than you think. 100 grams of some of today's cereals can contain almost 2 grams of salt as well as 40 grams of sugar. Processed white bread can also contain surprisingly large amounts of salt. Consuming large amounts of salt is dangerous because it increases blood pressure and the risk of a heart attack. So, the main idea, which is the consumption of salt here. Okay, text 6 now. A researcher has claimed that half the population could be suffering from hay fever by 2060. Hay fever is the name we give to an allergic reaction to pollen, one of the most common allergies in the UK, United Kingdom. Many teenagers suffer, and the worst period is usually just when they have their final exams. Experts recommend avoiding parks and woodland at this time of the year, especially between 7 a.m. and 10 a.m. or 4 p.m. and 7 p.m., because this is when there is most pollen in the air. They also suggest combining the avoidance of pollen with medical treatment. Unfortunately, although it is effective, a lot of the medicine makes patients sleepy, which is not ideal in the exam period. An alternative is a course of injections to increase the patient's tolerance to pollen. However, this can be expensive and it can take a lot of injections to relieve the patient's symptoms. So, the main idea of this text, which is the hay fever and the medical treatment of it. So, next time, inshallah, I will send you a worksheet for this 6 texts and vocabulary. Don't forget to say Alhamdulillah. Have a blessed day. Teacher Dua.